Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm curious to see how long will it take to these guys to call the demonstrations, the mass protests in Poland, a Russian campaign of regime change. I'm waiting. Why? Because the opposition, the Polish opposition, calls for mass protests to protect democracy. Can make up shit. Look at this article coming from Russia Today on the 4th of January 2024. Polish opposition calls for mass protests to protect quote-unquote democracy. With its new government, Poland now has a quote-unquote real problem with democracy, end quote. Opposition leader Jarosław Kaczynski Kaczynski, maybe, Yaroslav, I got that one better, has said the leader of Poland's Law and Justice, PiS, party, Yaroslav K., has called on Poles to join a planned mass protest next week. Is the Polish government going to collapse? Is there going to be an insurrection? We'll find out. I'll keep you posted. Urging them to take action to protect democracy and freedom of speech in the country. Now, wasn't an election in Poland, wasn't democracy at play, at work, functional, and freedom of speech? Well, why? Oh, maybe they know better. The conservative PiS was ousted from power last month, even though they won the most votes. Don't forget, they're still the most popular party in Poland. But they tried to make it like this, including the Russians, that, hey, they lost the elections. They lost the elections because they couldn't form a coalition with other garbage parties. I don't like coalition governments. Why? Because when you have a coalition government, that means you're going to give some of your platform away and you're going to have to implement some other party's platform. Well, your voters voted for your platform. Otherwise, they would have voted for the other party's platform. So that means it's going to be a negotiation. It's going to be instead of getting, straight wine, they're going to put some another kind of wine, some water and all, and then drink that. But I wanted wine. That's why I ordered wine. I didn't order water with wine where Moscato, and I get a Merlot together with the Moscato. White with red and water. What would you have? Blech. Well, that's what it is. So, the conservative PSE was ousted, having lost a recent general election to a coalition of pro-EU parties. These guys are weasels, are on the payroll of Brussels. They are just fine. Nothing wrong with these guys from now on. You're going to hear only great words. Now, Mr. Kaczynski made a call on Wednesday during a press conference in Warsaw, announcing a demonstration called to the protest of free Poles. Oh, so there are some others that are not? Hey, I know Poland is under occupation, is it? To be held outside the country's parliament next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. You can make shit up. And I'm quoting, on January 11th, a demonstration will be held in Warsaw in defense of freedom of speech, freedom of the media, and simply in defense of the democracy. Because we have a real problem with democracy today, Kaczynski declared. The country's new government, led by veteran pro-EU politician Donald Tusk, which is a garbage man. This is a yes man. That's what this guy is. I saw him when he was in charge of the European Union Council, whatever. I know, was it Farage still there when Tusk was? I can't remember, but Nigel Farage, I don't remember if probably he was still in the European Parliament, whatever that is. Man, Donald Tusk is. And he was the prime minister before, if I remember correctly, and he met Putin when Putin was the prime minister in Poland, and Putin took him to task in Poland when he visited. I think Putin was visited Poland, if I remember correctly then, and he was asked a question by a journalist. I think the journalist was Lithuanian, speaking Russian. It used to be, maybe you find it on YouTube. I tried for many times already to find it so I can make a video. No, I don't know the exact words. I can't remember who posted that. So it's going to be gone until by chance it's going to come back to me. And, all right, so EU politician Donald Tusk aims to, and I'm quoting, fulfill the expectations of the EU. Yes, sir. And reduce the country into a territory governed by the outside, Kaczynski warned. The PIS leader also condemned a shake-up of state media carried out by the new government last month. Well, it's state media, so they didn't like the propaganda. The new authorities have claimed that the replacement of media bosses was needed to depoliticize the media and fix the damage done by PIS, which had been in power since 2015 and ran the country. However, Kaczynski insisted such allegations were completely invented, while most of the media was against the government when PIS held sway. Well, what are they going to do? It says here that, rather ironically, the party leader got into a spat with reporters during his press conference after one of them asked whether PIS was being hypocritical with its concerns about media freedom, having itself turned it into a propaganda mouthpiece, end quote. Kaczynski shot back, accusing the reporter of being, and I'm quoting, paid to defend what is happening in Poland, and wrapped up the press conference prematurely. I'm leaving. Oh, man. Speaking separately on Wednesday, Tusk stood by his sweeping media reforms, stating that the government would not take a single step back, end quote. In this regard, the Prime Minister doubled down on the accusations against the PIS, insisting the party was only concerned about media outlets because of its cozy ties with them to reap political benefits. The PM also brushed off concerns that the media takeover might not be a legally sound move, blaming the PIS for heavily damaging the country's legislation. And I'm quoting, "When we try to solve these things, you all wonder whether it is really perfectly legal," Tusk stated. And I'm quoting again, "But we all also know that the law they established is unconstitutional. We will make decisions knowing that not everyone will like them," end quote. Well, I don't know, my friends. There's going to be a mass demonstration. Remember, it's still the most popular party in Poland, Justice and something, PIS. And you never know what's going on in this kind of rallies. They're going to start a little civil war over there. Not civil war, but it's a little insurrection. Not impossible. Maybe it's going to be peaceful, I hope. But hey, that's up to the Poles to decide, obviously. And remember, the Poles have balls. And I saw some rallies of some real Poles, and they have balls. I mean, if those catch some people around, they will fuck them up. And not only. So, nevertheless, here it is, Poland in turmoil. What do you think is going to happen? I don't think anything major is going to happen. And if something is going to happen, the new government is going to use the military. I have no doubt that these guys are capable of doing it. That's my take. Otherwise, if it gets violent, it's going to be it's going to escalate quickly. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. I thought that only Russia has problems with democracy. Now I see that Poland has. See you later, guys.